Okay, folks, and today I decided to. I discovered this a few days ago, and I kind of got a little angry when I saw the YouTube creators thing that you see in your YouTube studio. They gave out a new way for everyone to make money. It's these YouTube sticker things. And then people had a look at them and they went, "What the flying hell? This these are cartoony. This is an FCC violation and come January for everybody that uses this. So who's going to use your goddamn service except for your friends who you won't tag in all this?" That's the only conclusion I can come out of all of that. Is this is going to be a targeted mess, right? That it's anyway. So it made me further angry that what we're having to do by these two basic things to select, that they've actually had a solution sitting there since 2010 that was made basically for bloody libraries and documentaries. Okay? And I'll explain this. Okay, it's called restricted mode. And what does restricted mode basically mean in a nutshell? It means you got to log into bloody YouTube. See, YouTube would rather shove all this liability at us creators and not have people log in so that they can sit there with these bags of gold and money and continue to make all this money, and anytime there's a problem, they shove it at us. When here is the solution right here. Force this general wide to everybody. Okay? You want to come to YouTube? Get an account, sign in. Oh, you're 12? Well, you better get mommy's consent. Okay? And you go through tons of little hoops to do that. Okay? To make an account and say you're 12 years old or under. Alright? And for the teenagers, you'd still need parental consent. So there'd still be some hoops to go through. But this solves the COPPA situation completely, 100%, and I don't see anyone talking about it. Okay? When I saw this is what I'm going to be doing, folks, on the day before this COPPA stuff comes. Then I don't have to worry. Okay? And the other point to make here, okay, this doesn't restrict monetization. It only, the main thing is that it requires you to log in. Okay? And you can go in here and you can check out what is this all about and everything else. So I'm gonna make this little video, put it out onto all these stupid lawyer pages. I'm gonna put it out onto Twitter and Facebook and just sort of, get everybody knowing about this, because this is the solution that everyone's really looking for, and it's already here. I mean, if every single YouTube content creator went into restricted mode the day before, it would force anybody to log in. And then that login system that we don't control is on YouTube. Okay? They have to, and they can't get rid of this because this is something that libraries and documentaries fought for in 2010. Okay? And it's also for education and schools where they have people log in from school, right? And there you go. Then they can go to this content and do that. Right? See, and here's the thing: is a video in restricted mode age gating or age restricting videos? No, a video is not necessarily age restricted, and that's the thing. If you're logged in, you're already age gated because the age gate is the login. Okay? If you have to go through all those hoops and somebody lies, that's not YouTube's fault and it's not my fault. That's a parental fault. Okay? And the FTC and FCC, okay, can't fine you because the login system isn't tight enough. I mean, there's only so much you're going to be able to do. If the kid is, and I would argue, if the kid is smart enough to bypass all these little restrictions and logins, he's probably, looking at far worse than what he can find on YouTube. All right? I know we need to all mitigate things like that. We don't need to be damaging young minds and all that jazz, blah, blah, blah. You know, like there's that argument, you know. But the thing is, where there's a will, there's going to be a way regardless, okay? And you can bring all the laws and all the hammers on all the rest of us, it doesn't make a difference, okay? Now, the other point to make, I see lots of guys saying, oh, I'm going to start swearing a lot in my videos and stuff like that. Well, remember what's gone on in the last year. YouTube spent all this time making us not want to swear, not want to, you know, be edgy, all that jazz. You reverse yourself on that, and then they see a comic of any kind in anything, it's going to be looked at by some idiot over at the FCC who doesn't know things as kid friendly, and you're going to get nuked and a fine. And, you know, so then there's this thing about, well, if you're not monetized, you're not making any money, therefore YouTube's collection of any data whatsoever is not really benefiting me. So therefore I don't fall under COPPA, which is another defense, okay? But you would need, if the FTC fined you, you would have to get a lawyer, pay a lawyer, go to where the courthouse is, et cetera, to fight the fine. And YouTube probably in the interim would just kill your channel. So you're, you know, that whole, you know, this is why it's, you know, I'm glad that I know other things, okay? I actually have a local web server, okay, that I can run. I did that for years, okay? I mean, I would extend the hand to some of the bigger channeled guys and go get extra bandwidth, have you give me a couple of bucks from the YouTube, or what you would have got from YouTube. We'll set up some advertising and have something going, you know? Because I can have up to 7 accounts merged into this one account to make a thing. So I could put one for myself, right? And then bond 7 or 6 of them together to give me, you know, 100 and something megabit internet, okay? Maybe 150 megabit. Let's see, 15 times 6, that'd be about 90. 90 down and 9. No, wait a minute here. 15 times 9 is what? 145 down and 90 up. Which, you know, if you're watching videos, that gets eaten really heavily quick. Okay? That's just like, let's say 720p is about 5 megabit. Okay? 90 divided by 5. That's how many people could watch at 720p. You see what I'm saying? And it's not like bandwidth isn't cheap. It's just that in certain countries like Canada, where I am, it's expensive. All right? Everything's expensive up here. It's been that way, and they've kept us so expensive since the 90s. Okay? Think about it. Back in the early 90s, we had 5 megabit internet. We had 7 megabit internet at one point. And nobody, you know, they just called us. They just kept us there. Right up until, I think it was about, what, 2011, 2012, when I finally got 10 megabit. Now I'm sitting on 15. Woo, you know? And the reason I'm on this is because I am allowed to run services here, okay? So that's one of the things, you know, I can do. But I mean, just for myself, a small guy doing things like this, I could do that. But for some big channel, it would be a really heavy, you know, thing, right? Like the quality of videos would be like, maybe one of the things to do would be to host the videos up at BitChute, and then I could embed and link them on a website for people who could then come and engage with a better designed website than BitChute. You know what I'm saying? Like that might be a trip. The other thing is to go get some business partners, and you know, if you're gonna screw a lot of us Canadians that don't have your law, okay? Maybe us Canadians ought to be getting together and pooling some resources and start a business. I mean, I know the owner of the company that does this, my internet, okay? So, you know, maybe we could do something. They have, the other thing to say is they've got a burgeoning TV thing that they're starting up. I mean, like, just and they're across Canada. Okay, so it's one of those things where we could end up making some content for them. I mean, why not? I mean, you've got the opportunity to do some things. Why not try and look at them in a broader sense of, look, it's bad enough when, you know, I don't care what your politics are, some nation goes over to another nation and starts a thing with it, okay? It's another thing entirely when it's trying to tell other nations in the world how to do their laws and how to look after people in general, okay? Um, that's just part of the how some of these really older people don't get technology, okay? And it's very complicated because every nation is technically its own jurisdiction for its own laws, sovereign laws. Now, the USA, if you watch any of this Ukraine thing, shows you just how much pressure and bullying they can put on a country to do what it wants, regardless of what those laws are and what the intent of its own nation's sovereignty is. Okay? And I just get the feeling like the the end game of the corruption of everything is just full tilt ahead now. It's full tilt ahead. We are definitely getting the tech tariffs in the middle of December. Um, I've decided, I can't make the investment anymore in a top-end card, video card, to do more things because I don't know what the future is. Like I have 160-ish IQ. I can read these things. I've taken law a long time ago, so I have a decent understanding of what terms are and and all that. And I've discussed things with lawyers and they've actually come around to some of the ways I think sometimes because I have novel ways of thinking, you might say. And honestly, they're going to go at people that YouTube has wanted to get rid of for a while. Number one. Number two, they're going to go after people that swear a lot. They're going to go after people that do controversial topics a lot. They're going to go after people that, they're going to make some good examples of people. And they're going to make sure that they can afford a bunch of these fines too. Right? And you notice that there are certain channels that are not mentioning this at all, ad nauseum. One individual creator, whom I won't mention, has a lawsuit against YouTube because somebody was flipping a switch on and off about censorship things and stuff. Well, see, here's the thing, Stephen Crowder, because I'm going to mention you, okay? They weren't just doing that to you, okay? They were doing that to a lot of people to test different things. And they have the right to do that. That's number one. Number two, okay, if you're going to constantly talk about the topics you're doing, okay, you need to be age restricted, okay? Not just age, demonetized, okay? Because I don't think it's appropriate for a 12-year-old kid to be sitting there watching any content that talks about most of the topics you're talking about. Because what you're gearing yourself for should be adult only, okay? The fact that you don't need to log in to YouTube to see that video, okay? Now, I agree. They were censoring Americans from seeing you. And I think it's because of the COPPA law. That would make some sense, right? Maybe because they didn't put it in the terms of service, that's why. And you might discover that when you get to court, okay? And that's exactly what I'm assuming is the reason, okay? I mean, it's controversial topics all around over there, and there are others too, eh? Like I said, and here's the kicker to some of the comics people that are out there. Do you think that an FTC chairman sitting there watching your stuff is going to say that anything of yours is kid friendly? Because if it is, and you've labeled it not kid-friendly, okay, you're in trouble, right? Do you think he's going to see a comic and go, oh, that's for kids? I saw the Spiffing Brit do a real good rag on Stellaris the other day, rated 7 and up. This game allows you to go around and genocide people. Okay, basically. Also, slavery is a big one in it, too, for certain empires. You have, the Borg, like, kind of things. Just, it's... And it requires very, very intelligent people to learn how to play that properly, okay? If you want to play it the way it should be played rather than, mucking around with it. But, yeah. There are two ways a video can end up being unavailable when restricted mode is on. Primarily, our automated system checks signals like video's metadata, title, and language used in the video. Some of the videos may not be available in restricted mode as a result of human viewers applying an age restriction to a video. Now that's different. You see, if you put in nudity by accident, it would get age restricted and also go into restricted mode. That's an example there of that, okay? They can't have that for the general public without logging in, all right? And then you got to be 18. There's not much around that one. So restricted mode was created to provide viewers who wanted better control of the content they see. Okay, and this is what I think started the change in COPPA in 2013, because now once you see, if I get any more control over what I'm doing, all right, then I'm becoming more of a website operator. And that's why they're trying to use this, right? Right? But if nobody knew, I never even knew about this until the COPPA stuff started, okay? I never went looking around in all the fuzzy-wuzzy areas of YouTube support and everything else until I found this, okay? Because once I turn it on, you gotta have parental consent to sign up to YouTube. You also then, that's waiving your right to, for YouTube to collect some data, as well as their teenagers. This is the solution that they should remove this restricted mode and make it normal mode for everyone. Okay? In other words, they'll have a little clip. If you post a YouTube video in Discord or somewhere else, it would put, say, your thumbnail out there. Okay? Now, that's the kicker then. You're COPPA-ly responsible for that thumbnail then. That's how YouTube could get around it, and it's solved. The whole thing. Okay? They got the age gate in there. That's the login system currently. I mean, seriously, so go try and sign up to YouTube as a 12-year-old and see all the bullshit you got to go through, okay? I mean, it's serious, okay? Good luck to you, too, by the way. There's a lot to it. But anyway, yeah. I mean, how do you do this? How does this manage? Like, how many millions of people use this place? Anyway. Viewers can choose to turn on restricted mode for their personal accounts. It may also be turned on for computer libraries, schools, or other public institutions by the institution system administrator. Viewers who turn on restricted mode cannot see comments on videos. So that's the one thing you lose. You lose the comments on the videos. Right? So this here, it's almost there. All they have to do is allow comments back on the videos, right? And make you log in. That's it. That's all they have to do. And I've sat there listening to all these different lawyers. I've talked to even one myself, and he said he hadn't looked at this very heavily. He went and had it, spent like a half a day at it, and then he came back and he just basically he didn't have much to say really, you know. He said it's too vague, a lot of it, and he says you're a Canadian, you're not going to have to worry about a fine. So really, I mean, you got nothing to lose, right? Carry on and do your best to conform, and if they hit you, that's it, you're done. That's basically what he's telling me, and I'm like, oh. So I got this video, and he says, well, I mean, yes, you're doing game development, showing it for other people who could be doing game development, but there might be teenagers that look at that. And I go, well, my data on YouTube for the last year shows 18 or older. So if they're lying, that's not my fault. But apparently the FTC seems to think it is, and he said, well, they could still give you the fine and sue you, and YouTube would cancel your account anyway. Oh, I want to bang my head up a wall. In other words, the FTC would not want to be making me look one of their first peoples to fine. It'll be someone that's big, much bigger, that they can go at, and that'll be, I don't know. But anyway, that's one of the things that they could fix on this. This is where, right here, viewers cannot see the comments in the videos. That's it. How do I check videos are being filtered? So there's the video appears. You can site structure, see if it's viewable. Times videos are not available or initial upload. Okay. Let's see here. We'll go back. Where is it? Manage content. I'm trying to figure this out again. There was a thing that showed you. Here we are. Does restricted mode affect monetization for my videos? You can still monetize videos even if they are not available when restricted mode is on. If you edit the video, our system may review it again. Okay. Now here's another one. I have one video that's locked as private. I only show it to a couple of people so far in the universe. It's from 2001. Anyway, it is locked as private. Before we addressing the abuse in ways that create real positive impact, If your video is identified as violating our policy on misleading metadata, it may be locked as private. When a video is locked as private, it may be visible to the public. If a viewer has a link to the video, it may appear as unavailable. Well, yes and no. See, if this kind of thing makes it so that when I send someone a link, right, they can view it, but only them. If they can't like share it around, it doesn't work that way. It's really neat how that works. Anyway, Get over there again. So back to this. So yeah, and they go down here. They've changed this since yesterday or the other day when I was looking at it too. They know that this is going to get looked at hard by a lot of people. Because I'll tell you right now, the way YouTube is doing it, they are not going to stop doing what they are doing. They're just passing the buck to us. And it seems the FTC That idiot that went on video there, he seems perfectly okay to do that. They got 170 million off YouTube. Let's get another 170 million, squeeze it out of some little people, eh? It's disgusting. These corporations are, this is what makes me, you know, and this is the same kind of thing as with Angry Joe. I got this really weird copyright claim on a embedded sound in a video game. I went and told him, and he was like, "Well, I'm going to this YouTube creators thing, and I'll bring this up, and blah 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 blah." And it was only because suddenly he started getting hit when, for the week prior to this, I went around to every YouTuber and told them about it, and everybody stopped playing EA games. Everybody. I didn't see a single person out there doing it. Okay? And then, so these trolls go after the big guys now, and then they start whining. And this is the thing, right? Okay? There are people that could be making a difference now, and they're not saying it. I mean, you got PewDiePie saying stuff. Good, good. You got other people, big channels. Where's Steven Crowder in all this? You notice how he's silent? He's talking about transies and other stuff constantly. He's obsessed. He's obsessed with these weirdos. Okay, and this is the thing. He goes off on this internet and gets his people to research into the absolute most bizarre cases of it. Okay, because most people that are trans are okay people. Most of them. Same with the gay people and everything else. They got better things to do than to be getting politicalized. Okay, they spent most of their time. Most of these people having a hard time with life because of the way they are. And the non-understanding of other people. No, and that's that's just like why I say, okay, you oh God, it's frustrating that I can't go and have a chat with the guy. Okay, because it's not just about change your mind. Okay, it's about doing the right thing with your bloody mind. Okay, I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah. Anyway, I talked to my internet provider about some of the special effects and different things I can do, and if that's a thing that maybe I can help get them some unique content for them that is a little bit cheaper than, say, Hollywood, then fine and dandy. There's no union for what I have, so Hollywood's. This is why I sit here and I see a bunch of people out there they're grinning at all this because they're anti-technology to begin with. Okay? And you know who you are. I've been watching you. That's right. And they'd be perfectly fine if YouTube imploded. Okay? And I'm getting the feeling maybe Steven Crowder thinks that way now too, eh? Eh? Because why wouldn't you be doing a COPPA video? Seriously. What's wrong with you, lad? Instead he wants to do a mock-up of some serial rapist pedophile guy. I mean, really? Really? What does that serve, man? What does that it doesn't serve anything, man. It's not even that lawyer of yours. What the hell, man? Why don't you make a comment? Yeah, that's what I thought. The silence says it all. Makes you wonder. Now, I'm not one to be a chicken either, okay? If the FTC wants to come sideways at me for playing the video games that I play on my computer, because that's what I'm doing. Me playing the games, giving the odd tip out. Wow, man, I'm an evil human being then, eh? Just evil. And all these little freebies that the Unreal Engine people give out, showing off how not just that they gave it out, but how it's actually used inside the engine. I'm running all that stuff out of the engine at the same time while recording it in OBS. Think about how less laggy and how much more quality I can have when I turn OBS off and I actually just compile a game, okay, that isn't having three things running at once. I think I got up to almost 8 gig of RAM use there at one point. And it takes hours with this ancient graphics card. So maybe I should be doing like what every one of you other guys out there. Oh, I'll set up a Patreon account and set up a Kickstarter and all these other things, right? Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna. The only reason I would do a Kickstarter would be at the point where I get going enough where I need some help, and then you got to pay someone else to help you out, right? Because I wouldn't want to take on an actual partner starting something like this out, because one good argument along the way and the entire thing goes pfft. There has to be a boss and then underlings, little minions, peons, whatever you want to Warcraftly talk of them. I don't know, whatever. And here's how I would hire in a company. I don't care about your race, your religion, your gender, however, I will care about age. You got to be above 18. Bing, 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 and prove it to me. We want to see ID. Anyhow, I don't care about the rest of that though. Okay? Or your politics, all that. Can you do the work? Right? Can you do the job? Can't do the job? But you think I should hire you because you're a woman, or you're a man, or you're this religion or that politics? No, doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. And whatever politics or religion or whatever I am, if I feel to donate to those, it's none of your freaking business either. Okay? Because that's how I hire people, is that in doing that makes it so I can be diverse. Okay? Best person for the job. That's how it should be. And one of the main reasons I honestly believe, in my opinion, the reason we're in this mess with YouTube so much is because of the policies of the chairman of the board, who is allowing this stupid amounts of diversity rather than who's best for the job. I mean, whose flying stupid idea was it to give out cartoony stickers for creators that would be a clear violation of the FTC and FCC COPPA rules come January? Okay? Whose idea was that? Oh, Miss Blondie with the now pink strips in her, or purple strips in her hair. That's her team. This is her thing. This is what they're working on. They're making money from making cartoony things. Give her a fine, will ya? Anyway, have a good one, everybody. I wanted to bring this up because I wanted everyone to get some education that the lawyers are failing us too, okay? I sat and watched another video where the real thing comes down to is, am I a website operator? Well, from a guy who's been an actual webmaster, accredited, okay, go look up what being an accredited webmaster is. That's actually 5 jobs in one, to tell you the truth. Okay? It's the guy that looks after the website. It's the guy that looks after the marketing, human resources management, programming, okay? Graphic design, okay? That's a webmaster, okay? He looks after all of this network stuff, okay, as well, all right? All of that. That's the guy in charge, okay? He's the big cheese, okay? That's the website op. And then what he does is he divides these areas up into little areas, and they run that section, and they run that section, and they run, and he's got to make sure and be hands-on enough that he can. They can't just say they're doing something. They got to be able to do it. Okay. In many cases, a webmaster does it all himself. Okay. When Google first started out, I used to have talks with their webmaster. Okay. And same with Yahoo when it was not a public company. Okay. That all changed when these guys went corporate because I just the whole corporate, bigger corporate thing, it doesn't lend to that. Okay. But yeah, restricted mode. Have a look at it. Talk amongst yourselves. Go see what lawyers think. Start throwing this at lawyers and say, would this protect me? By forcing users to log in. And the kicker here is, guys, and here's the big one. If every single YouTube creator did this, okay, regardless, okay, the day before, the day after, YouTube would probably lose 3/4 of that of its advertising money, because all those people that don't log in, 80% of my traffic, by the way, guys, is not from YouTube. Okay, all the views, all the traffic, all the impressions, all the whatever is not from YouTube. So I'm going to lose 80% of my traffic. That means I will never become monetized and never fall under COPPA. It will be impossible, okay? And it will be further impossible by restricted mode of having the comment section removed, where I can't go to another guy's video and leave a comment, and then he sees me make a comment, and sometimes he'll sub back to me when he looks at my name, right? Because usually this is how you do things. I go over and I check out some guy's content, I watch a video and leave a comment, and then he does the same thing. Sometimes. It doesn't, and you're not asking, you're advocating for it. So that's how growth has been happening all year at YouTube, okay? And they're going to get rid of that because this restricted mode will end that. But I guarantee you that if we all got together and did this one thing here, okay, we could even have a day in December if we organize something like this, right? Get everybody just to put everything into restricted mode. That would tell YouTube what's gonna, what gives. And the people that don't do it, okay, they'd be the ones that we know don't give a shit about us. Don't give a shit about each other, okay? They're the ones that it goes down to that phrase. You'll find out who your friends are then, eh? Let's just see. Let's just see what people think of that. Anyway, take care.